Mega Evolution. A power once thought to be the peak of Pokemon's strength, and a fan-favorite gimmick finally set to reappear in Pokémon Legends Z-A. But will these ultimate transformations come back as strong as we remember them? In the world of Pokémon Legends Arceus, two key components of Mega Evolution were nowhere to be seen. In the case of held items, you probably know that each Mega Evolving Pokémon has a corresponding Mega Stone they need in order to activate their transformation. And while normally each Pokémon had to be holding their Mega Stone, in the Let's Go games you could actually Mega Evolve without the held item by simply having the corresponding Mega Stone in your bag. But Mega Evolutions in Let's Go lacked another crucial element that's also missing from the first Pokémon Legends game. And this lack of abilities is easily my biggest concern when it comes to Legends Z-A. Because even though you could have Mega Evolutions without them, as we saw in Let's Go, there were more than a few Megas that pretty much relied on their new abilities to feel like a proper upgrade. Take Mega Pinsir for example, a Pokemon that learns absolutely zero flying type moves by level up, but can still make use of its acquired flying type thanks to the ability Aerialate. And I know some of you might be thinking they could easily just give Pinsir some flying moves in Legends Z-A, but like I said, there are many more Megas that rely on their abilities beyond just typing, so if you ask me, the simplest solution would be for Legends Z-A to just bring abilities back. But then again, the lack of them in Legends Arceus was likely due to that game not having any sort of online battling, which Legends Z-A will probably also be lacking, so it definitely seems like any new Mega Evolutions they introduce may just be simplified like they were in other single-player only games. But I can't shake the feeling that bringing back such a beloved feature with no plans to have them usable online at some point in the future is definitely a missed opportunity. Unless, maybe Game Freak plans to make these Megas usable in the next generation. Hold up, I just noticed we literally see Aegislash changing stance in the first trailer. Was that actually a subtle hint that abilities are coming back? There definitely seem to be more questions than answers when it comes to the long-awaited return of these beloved Pokemon transformations. So today I want to discuss the Mega Evolutions I most want to see in Pokemon Legends Z-A, and which ones I think are actually most likely coming. But before we get into it, a huge thanks to Tokyo Tree and Sakurako for sponsoring this video. This month, we've got a special edition of Sakurako and Tokyo Treat. So because of this special occasion, I'm gonna be sharing these treats with the love of my life. I think we should start with Tokyo Treat then, which is also very Valentine's themed. Happy Valentine's Day from Japan! Oh, it's so cute! Reminds me of when we did our kimono video.
That was a good one. As
always, you get some special Kit Kat. This month we got Kit Kat Red and White for Valentine's Day and White Day, I'm assuming. So I have an idea. I'm gonna pick one, you pick one.
Okay, so first off, we have sweet strawberry mochi. That was pretty good. Oh, it's really good.
Next, let's try the Kronki Choco Banana. Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's very banana. I don't like American banana, like not artificial banana, but artificial Japan banana flavor.
Oh my gosh, there's a Pokemon one.
Poke Hearts Ramune Kandi.
Esper, Rowlet, Pikachu.
And Milcery.
No Piplup.
Oh my god.
That's a good one to end it off on, the tart, you know, like a little palate cleanser. Because of course, we have another box. And this one looks really, really special.
I'm excited.
So this month's theme is Valentine's Delights.
Oh, they're giving us a furoshiki.
Oh, what is that?
People use them to wrap like bento boxes.
Oh.
I believe. It's like really sturdy and like really like
I thought it was gonna be like super soft like linen or something.
No, it's meant to be like a lunch box.
Yeah, Kern is going to boil some water because every month Sakurako comes with a tea. And this month, we've got a caramel ohicha. It's time, cheese. I'm gonna go with this Daruma Senbei. You guys might be familiar with these two certain Pokemon.
Oh my gosh.
So crunchy. Now let's pour up the tea, which like just immediately from opening the baggie.
Ooh.
Strong
that's
caramel.
Rich. That is rich. Well, that's steeping. We shall do this one.
Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, this is some rich chocolate.
Look at that jiggle. Oh my gosh. All right, let's do this. And a bite for you, of course.
It tastes like
chocolate milk.
Yeah, like chocolate milk solidified.
So if you're not a super sweet tooth like yourself, I feel like you're really gonna like this one. But thank you again to Sakurako and Tokyo Treat for sponsoring this video. If you guys would like to get a box, check out the link in the description and maybe tag one of your loved ones because Valentine's Day, share the love of Japanese snacks.
And it can be friends and family too.
That's true, yeah.
Because like, I was gonna say like, I would love this for like my siblings or if my mom.
Thank you, Sakurako.
Let's begin with what I believe are the 3 most likely Pokemon to Mega Evolve in Legends Z-A. And it honestly still shocks me that this trio didn't receive Mega Evolutions back in their debut games, but there's no better chance to finally do him justice than our return to Lumiose. Though you could argue one of them already has a Mega Evolution of sorts. I'm sure you're all more than familiar with Ash Greninja, a unique transformation that's about as close as you can get to Mega Evolution without technically being one. Though it was originally anime exclusive, a special Greninja was eventually given out through the Pokemon Sun and Moon demo with the unique ability Battle Bond. This ability allowed it to transform into Ash Greninja if it successfully knocked out an opponent. And though it looked a lot like a Mega Evolution, this phenomenon was instead referred to as a Bond transformation. But recently there's been some evidence suggesting that Ash Greninja may just return as a Mega Evolution in Legends Z-A. I know what you're thinking. A transformation specifically designed to look like Ash would make 0 sense as a Mega Evolution, but what if I told you these similarities are purely a coincidence? In the 99th and 100th episodes of the Pokemon X and Y anime, Ash and friends visit a ninja village where they find a scroll depicting a legendary ninja hero that looks a whole lot like Ash Greninja. Except, obviously this one existed way before Ash was born, so this basically proves Ash Greninja existed a long time ago and isn't unique to just Ash. Fast forward a few years to the Pokemon Journeys anime and we get a couple flashbacks of Ash Greninja's iconic moments. But you might notice something's off here. I've watched one too many AMVs of this fight to know this was definitely an Ash Greninja before, so why did the Pokemon Journeys anime remove its iconic design? Could there actually be a secret plot to reintroduce it as Greninja's Mega Evolution? As much of an Ash Greninja stan as I am, repurposing its design would no doubt come off as nothing short of lazy. But I'd love to see Mega Greninja at least take some inspiration from its spiritual predecessor. Which is why I really love this concept from Mad Zygarde Core, which depicts it still having the iconic giant water shuriken on its back, but swaps out that ashy looking head for a more edgy sort of fin design. I also love that it brings back the Frubbles, Froakie, and Frogadier we're known for, which inspired me to come up with a new ability that lets Mega Greninja slow down opponents that it makes direct contact with. But I think we spent long enough on Kalos' poster child now, and frankly the other 2 Kalos alumni definitely deserve some time in the spotlight more. So let's talk about Delphox next. In the past, I've been pretty harsh on this Pokemon, particularly on its looks, and honestly, I'm still not a huge fan of those big, fluffy ear puffs, but I realized most of my hate for this Pokemon comes from just how stiff it looks in its X and Y model. But looking at some other official sources and fan art depicting the mythic fox in much more dynamic poses definitely made me appreciate it a lot more. So rather than trying to fix what I thought was a bad design, I'd like to see this Mega Evolution double down on Delphox's unique features and overgrow those ear puffs to the point they shape around its head to form a wizard hat. And though a few other artists had similar ideas, I absolutely love how Rebs 3D made the hat look like it's naturally part of Delphox's body and how they grew its magic wand into a badass wizard staff. Though I was originally on board with the idea of turning its wand into a flying witch's broomstick instead, and it would certainly benefit from gaining the ability Levitate, but after learning just how important Delphox Stick seems to be, I think it makes a lot more sense to keep it as a weapon. So I came up with an ability that fits the Pokédex descriptions of Delphox trapping foes in flaming vortexes by allowing it to trigger the additional effects of the move Fire Spin after using any sort of fire move. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to specific stats, but just based on this concept, I think Mega Delphox would be more likely to become bulkier while still getting the biggest increase to its special attack. Wait, Delphox, I didn't mean bulky in a bad way, where are you going? And last but certainly not least, we have the starter I actually picked my first time adventuring through Kalos, the absolute unit, Chesnaught. While the other two saw the biggest increases to their offensive capabilities, Chesnaught leans a lot heavier into defensive territory, being able to combine its arms to form a shield that's apparently capable of withstanding even a bomb. Maybe that bomb was a little more intense than expected, but thankfully Chesnaught Mega Evolved to protect itself from the blast. And this rendition from Bento is pretty much exactly what I pictured when I first read that line of the Pokédex. Right on the border of ridiculous, yet original enough to be something Game Freak would actually do. With it literally wearing a bomb-proof suit, an ability like Damp would make a lot of sense for Mega Chesnaught, but does feel a bit underwhelming compared to the other ones I cooked up, so I decided to give it an ability that's like an upgrade to its already existing Bulletproof that protects it from a lot more than just explosions. Lastly, you might be thinking a design like this might turn Chesnaught into a Grass and Steel or maybe Grass and Rock type, and while the latter is actually a lot better for it defensively, part of me feels like it'd be kinda weird for it to be the only one of this trio to change typing. Then again, that's exactly the case with the other two sets of Mega Starters, so why not just make Mega Chesnaught an absolute tank? These three Mega Evolutions are without a doubt the ones I'm most confident will appear in Legends Z-A. But with this game taking place in Lumiose, I would dare guess they won't be the only Kalosian Mega Evolutions. But Talonflame feels to me like the most likely to actually get its redemption arc. This Kalosian bird was flying high back in its debut with the signature ability Gale Wings. That is, until those wings were clipped in the following generation, and though a Mega Evolution could just restore its ability back to its former glory, it'd be a lot more interesting to give it an ability with a twist, like this concept Max Fakemon came up with, guaranteeing all of its moves have priority while it's in sunlight. Again, I'm not much of an expert on competitive battling, so I'm not exactly sure how OP this could be, but while I think this Mega Evolution seems more likely, I'd personally like to see Mega Talonflame go in a different direction. Instead of speed, this take on Talonflame is all about bulkiness, with an ability that lets it spam away its strongest moves with no hesitation, essentially becoming like a Hisuian Arcanine in the sky. Though, I guess without heavy-duty boots, it better watch out for them stealth rocks. Now there's one more Kalos Pokemon I want to discuss, but in order to do so, we're going to need to dive deep into the spoiler zone. Don't say I didn't warn ya, cause it's about to get leaky. Back during the big Game Freak leak last year, a transcript from a conversation between Game Freak and the Pokemon Horizons anime team revealed that Mega Zygarde may be coming sooner than we think. Currently, this show seems to be on its final arc, and the main antagonist does use a shiny Zygarde, so it seems pretty likely this will be how the first Mega Evolution for Z-A is revealed. After all, there's been plenty of times when a Pokemon is first shown off through the anime. But the idea of a Mega Zygarde existing at all raises quite an interesting question. Will this Mega Evolution be for Zygarde's 50% or its complete form? Complete form Zygarde currently has a whopping 708 base stat total, so if it was to Mega Evolve and gain 100 more, it would actually be higher than the current strongest usable Pokemon in Mega Rayquaza. And I say usable because technically the highest base stat total goes to Eternamax Eternatus, but of course you can't catch or use that Pokemon in battle. Obviously with a name like Legends Z-A, Zygarde will most likely be the main antagonist, maybe even the final boss of this game like Arceus was in the previous. So I could totally see a world where Mega Zygarde is also an uncatchable ultimate boss just like Eternatus. But one last thing worth bringing up is that Zygarde's complete form is one of the few alternate forms that actually increases a Pokemon's HP. It felt like prior to Gen 7, Game Freak were a bit hesitant to experiment with this particular mechanic. However, now that they have more experience, it may be possible that some or even all Mega Evolutions in Z-A do increase this particular stat. But just how far they're willing to take this with Mega Zygarde in particular, we'll just have to wait and find out. But let's finally end off this discussion with one last Mega Evolution that's also pretty much confirmed. Among the leaked conversations I brought up earlier are mentions of a Mega Zeraora, a mythical Pokemon that's pretty much an enigma outside of that one movie, so it'd be pretty cool to see it get involved in the plot of Z-A somehow. Actually, I just noticed its name starts with Z and ends with A. Is that just a coincidence? Probably, but then again, the last mythical Mega Evolution didn't really expand on that Pokemon's lore, so who knows what plans they have for Mega Zeraora, but at least as far as design goes, my brain can only imagine it going Super Saiyan. which is why I'm going to be manifesting for it to look at least a little bit like this concept from our Greywind. Zeraora already has an absolutely insane speed stat, breaking into the top 10 for all Pokemon, so its Mega Evolution easily has the potential to become the fastest of all time. Last thing I want to mention is that Zeraora totally should have been the first electric fighting type, but honestly I have little faith that its Mega Evolution will make it happen. And that's finally gonna do it. So let me know in the comments below which Mega Evolution you'd most like to see in Legends Z-A, and if you have any other theories on how they might actually work. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and be sure to check out the sponsor to help support my channel, because I really like making these scripted type theory videos, but no doubt they take a lot longer to make than my usual content and wouldn't really be possible without the help of the sponsor. So click the link in the description, get yourself some delicious Japanese snacks, and help support me directly. And finally, make sure to stay tuned because I'll of course be live reacting to the Pokemon Day presentation coming up at the end of the month, where we'll hopefully finally see some gameplay.